Shucks, that's boxing at its finest right there. You heard it. They said it. Make that bet. Everything on the line. You know, that's old school right there. That's everything on the line.
Y'all getting the last little bit of Gervonta that y'all gonna see. I'm gonna make sure I do what I'm supposed to so I can be the best I can. Me and the stuff that I've been through in my past and the trouble and things like that, and don't want to keep saying, but my mom and dad was on drugs and things like that. I fought mad times in the streets and the gym. Just to see that I'm at this level and see that it's possible. You know what I mean? Everything I dreamed of is actually coming true. All this is paying off. That's another reason why I have to win this fight. People close to me, people that's coming up behind me. I feel as though Manny wants to show them that anything is possible. You know what I mean?
Before the cameras show up, before the arena lights turn on, and before the announcers start building stories in real time, there is always a quieter chapter that no one talks about. The return to discipline. Right now, that is where Gervonta Davis seems to be. Back inside the gym, back with Calvin Ford, back in the place where excuses do not last and only hard work gets remembered. At this moment, the time that a newly released boxing coach and a kid from the streets spent together takes on deeper meaning. Both of them wanted to rewrite their own stories. Those were the first steps that led to today.
Toward today.
They might got me back in the kitchen again.
You know, Calvin, he been with me since I was 7. I used to sleep in Coach Calvin's house. I used to sleep at his job when he was working at a seafood restaurant in Baltimore.
When I had to train Tank, when I didn't want him to get in trouble and I wanted to make sure we was together, I used to take him to work with me. He'd chill. Everybody knew him. Everybody knew him at work.
Remember, Calvin used to fuss at the guys that was coming up with me, and they was in the streets a lot. He was telling them, you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You gotta be, all the way in it. Focus on the goal, you know, and them guys, they went left, and unfortunately.
You can tell when a fighter is training just to stay famous, and you can tell when he is training to get back something more important. This feels like the second one. Tank looks sharper, lighter on his feet, and more focused in his purpose. The energy around him is not flashy. It looks serious.
It looks serious.
You weigh the odds out like that. Do you want him to go to jail or you want him to live? That's the whole idea, to come to the boxing gym.
If I ain't had the people I had around me, the people that started with me and things like that, I probably would have been off the scene for a long time. You know, I think that the people that I started with really keep me sane and keep me focused, because it's not just me that's fighting this battle, it's people that's with me, you know what I mean, that's walking with me day in and day out. What up, man?
We're gonna give you a piece.
Piece?
Just a piece, yeah.
All right, bet.
Just cut a piece. Get the best of your main man.
Is, man.
Yeah, just a little piece.
I'm gonna eat the whole thing.
Yo, we cleaned the plates with them, George.
Okay.
It's banging, right?
Yeah, it don't taste too bad, man.
Not bad.
They don't taste too bad, man.
You gonna eat the whole thing, right?
Okay.
That's usually when...
After all the chaos outside the ring, some fighters fall apart while others choose to simplify. They cut life down to early morning road work, rounds on the heavy bag and drills until their lungs beg them to stop. Then they do one more round. Right now, it seems Tank is turning into that kind of fighter.
I don't want to lose. I hate losing. I know Tank hate losing. Lamont damn sure don't want to lose, so it's gonna make for a good fight, man.
But Davis is no mortal. He's a dominant force with an empire to solidify and expand. Hence, no rest, no break, no excuses.
You gotta remember, you need a performance of your life. The whole world will be watching this young man.
And that matters because the name connected to him right now is Shakur Stevenson at 140 pounds. That is not a fight you can sleepwalk into. Shakur makes you stay focused every single second. He punishes fighters who are too eager, exposes lazy habits, and turns small technical mistakes into very long nights. So if Tank wants that challenge, raw power by itself will not be enough. He will need top conditioning, strong discipline, perfect timing, and the kind of mental calm that does not break when the rounds get tough.
Even when you don't want to work, you gotta work, you know what I mean? So definitely saying Ron today definitely gave me juice to get in there. But maybe or maybe he not, but 9 out of 10, he ain't go to the gym today. So I'm definitely ahead of him. So I pushed through it.
That is where Calvin Ford becomes so important again. He knows how to reach Tank beyond just the punches, how to calm the storm without taking away the danger. And if that balance is real, then the whole division should be paying attention, because a focused Tank is very different from an active Tank. One just shows up while the other arrives with real purpose. We have already seen what Tank's power can do when he is distracted, off rhythm, and running on instinct. Now imagine that same force made sharper with patience, guided by structure, and driven by something personal. That is when a puncher turns into a complete threat. That is when talent gets serious. If this reset is real, then the story is not just Tank coming back, it is Tank growing into something better. And for everyone at 140 pounds, that might be the worst possible timing.
Different angles I ain't never seen.
Some fighters they good at what they do. Like they master at what they do, but they not complete fighters.
He watches how you breathe, he tracks your habits, he notices when your jab gets lazy, when your feet cross, and when your confidence becomes too loud. Then he makes you pay for every mistake. That is why Tank's knockouts feel like jump scares. You think the movie is slow, and then boom, the credits roll. Bradley also pointed out how Tank fights at mid-range, which is the most uncomfortable place in boxing. You are too close to relax and too far to smother your opponent. There is just enough space for pain to show up right on time. And when Tim says Tank can be first or second, that is the real danger. Some guys only cook well if you bring them the right ingredients. While Timothy Bradley broke down how dangerous Gervonta Davis is inside the ring, Greg Hackett talked about how dangerous Tank is to the entire sport the moment he returns. That is a completely different conversation. Hackett basically said Tank's return matters because when Tank fights, something happens. Not maybe, not possibly, but something. Someone gets tested, someone gets exposed, or someone gets introduced to the canvas in a dramatic way. That is star power mixed with risk. I laughed when Hackett said he hopes it is a good guy, because that is boxing fan language for stop wasting our time and give us a real matchup. If it is Isaac Cruz again, okay, that is a solid fight. But fans want surprises now. They want names that make group chats blow up. They want an announcement that ruins productivity for 3 days. Hackett also shared a truth people often ignore. Tank raises everyone's profile. That is a fact. Guys fight him, and suddenly their interviews get more views, their clips get shared, and their reputation goes up. Honestly, I am just happy Tank is coming back.
A fighter's weakening. He knows when a fighter is starting to tire. He'll listen to their breathing. He can see certain signs to when he has to turn it up, and that's when it turns him up. That's when he steps on the gas pedal. Tank is a scary ass fighter because he can turn it up at any moment. Not many.
Some fighters just sell tickets. Tank creates side missions for entire careers. Then Hackett talked about the outside noise, and I respected how careful he was. Wait for facts. Do not play judge on the internet. Do not build a courthouse out of hashtags. That is rare maturity in a world where people turn rumors into full documentaries overnight. But back to boxing, because Hackett's real point was about money. The sport needs big attractions, and Tank is one of them. Love his style or hate it, when his name appears on a poster, the room gets louder. Time off can change things. Time away from the ring can sharpen hunger or rust your timing. Sometimes both show up in the same round. That is why this return is so interesting. If Tank comes back locked in sharper demeanor and more focused, then the whole division has a serious problem with gloves on. If he comes back casual, someone bold might try to write their own headline. Either way, Hackett warning is clear. Tank does not just return to boxing cards. He returns to consequences. So now the only question is who wants to volunteer for the experiment.
Go from having a lull to having one of the greatest rounds of the fight. He has explosive combinations. They're quick, they're fast, they're accurate. He can be first. He likes to be second. He likes to be a counterpuncher. He likes his guys to open up. Again, I told you, he likes guys that make mistakes because he likes to fill those openings with this.
Just when Greg Hackett had us focused on Tank's danger inside the ring, Fannin pulls the camera way back and says this rumored Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson fight could reveal who really matters in boxing even before the first bell rings. I understand what he is getting at beneath all the noise. Tank moves the needle. You can argue about footwork, punch stats, mythical pound-for-pound lists, and who won a sparring session back in 2019. But when Tank's name goes on a poster, people suddenly remember where their wallets are. That is rare. Fannin keeps saying some people will not want this fight to happen. Whether that is politics, business fear, or just the usual boxing traffic jam, we have all seen big fights get delayed until the fighters are almost too old. Meanwhile, Shakur sits in that dangerous spot where hardcore fans know he is elite, but superstardom still needs one big career-defining night. This is that night. Beat Tank and you do not just win belts. You win attention and numbers.
Where is Tank? I feel Tank can be exposed when a guy is resolute, when he can't hurt you. It does something to him psychologically. Now, it won't stop him from trying to knock you out, but I can tell it does something to him psychologically when he hits you and you don't go anywhere. Tank is probably one of the most complete fighters in the game.
Maybe Tank coming back. Tank's excited. All the guys are excited, but Tank, it's always a big question mark when Tank get in the ring. Somebody about to get knocked the fuck out. You know what I mean? I just hope it's a good guy. But I can say I'm happy to see Tank putting a foot forward, at least get back in the ring.
All right, everyone. Stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.